pleasant enough little town, as long as you keep out of the rough quarters. $50 be enough?
More than sufficient, I should think. Thank you.
Just sign here. You can pay me back later.
Don't you trust me?
It's a matter of bookkeeping. Trust doesn't enter into it.
Reduce everything to pounds, shillings, and pence.
The whole point of your voyage was pounds, shillings, and pence.
Yes, that was one purpose. To wind up my husband's estate, sever finally with the past. Then I shall be free. No commitments.
And no direction.
Although I never allow myself to be blown about by the winds of chance.
So what are you seeking?
Signpost. To the future.
Oh, whose future? Yours or mine?
Perhaps both.
Oh, excuse me, sir.
Oh, come in, Baines.
This is Mr. Draygon, sir.
Excuse me.
Oh, business first.
I've been expecting you, sir.
Eden.
Until later, James.
Yes. Mr. Draygon.
Thank you. The man was wondering about a sub, sir. Every man of them's ready to go ashore, spruced up and Jim Dandy. But unless there's $1 to jingle, the crimps are going to entice them away with promises of oars and brandy. I mean, they're sighting notes of hand, and that's the last we'll see of them. Yeah. Well, they'll wake up aboard a Down Easter, Frisco bound.
I know. Right then. $5 a head, not a cent more.
Aye, sir.
Drink, Mr. Draygon.
Thank you. We had intelligence of your arrival by Atlantic Telegraph.
Yes, what sort of cargo have you got for me?
Punctual, very punctual. You made good time.
It's a fast ship. Baines is a driver.
Glad to hear it. Trustworthy, is he, your captain?
Open as a book. Right, what have you got for me?
Bullion and mail. Steam packet as usual, but as usual, the confounded contraptions bust the guts. You've got 15 days delivery. Can you meet that obligation, sir?
Must be since mail was carried by sail. No steamers available?
Canard have 3 under contract, but they've been withdrawn by the Admiralty.
No.
Seems your government's a style uneasy about the Suez Canal. It's a choice fat plum to fall your way, not likely to fall again.
Baltimore to Liverpool. Well, with the following wind, reckon we'll do it in 12 days.
You'll need a strong route.
For the bullion?
Gold, Mr. Onedin. $1 million worth.
Oh, do cheer up, Leonora. James isn't the only man in the world.
No, but he's the only one I want.
No.
It's your trouble. No opposition.
What are we to do with her?
A hopeless case.
Hopeless. Are you so set upon marrying James?
Yes, of course I am.
Then we must take you in hand.
It's now or never.
First you must learn deportment.
And how to conduct yourself in the presence of a gentleman.
You must attract men as the flame attracts moss to the candle.
I don't want to attract men, I want to attract James.
Then you must put yourself in our hands.
All right, what do I do?
Well, first of all, this hat.
Yeah, that's a
And that dress.
What's wrong with this dress?
Well, it does not suit your colouring, Leonora.
And it's shapeless. Whoever made this monstrosity?
My seamstress?
Then you should send the creature to the hulks. You look like something from a rummage sale.
Rummage sale?
What do you think, Sarah?
I think we should start again, from the beginning.
A steering engine?
Aye. It operates by a system of hydraulics.
No, it'll never work. You see, all the pressure is applied here, at the fulcrum.
Oh, it does work, Mr. Fraser. It's been operating aboard the Onedin since the day she was fitted out. It's your son's invention.
Ah. Well, Albert always was ahead of his time.
Oh, no, you don't follow. Look, if a device like this were made available to the shipping industry as a whole, it would be worth a fortune. You build ships, Mr. Fraser. You know full well that the weak point of all steamships is a series of rods and chains connecting the wheel to the auxiliary steering engine. It's exposed to wear and weather. It only requires one link to snap and the whole ship is helpless. Now, Albert has resolved this problem by replacing these rods and chains with hydraulic fluid running in copper pipes below deck and sheltered from the weather. It's never required attention since the day it was installed.
Interesting. But Onedin owns that ship.
Aye. But Albert owns the patent.
Well, of course he does. And I fail to see what benefit this is to me. Or to you, Captain Fogarty.
Well, those patent rights will lapse next month unless an extension is applied for. Albert's in Argentina, James Onedin in America. That just leaves you and me.
Mr. Fraser.
You must swell out more at the top and less at the waist.
More?
More.
More?
Yes. Oh, that's better.
Can't breathe.
Well, the measure of success is when you're afraid to breathe.
Try walking across the room.
Head up.
Shoulders back.
I think we can make something of her.
Well, she does have certain attributes.
Yes, but that hair.
Here, sit down, Leonora.
In the chair, take it easy. Now, Sarah, loosen these curls.
Oh,
no, leave me alone. What does it matter? James is far away in America anyway. Well, that's true.
Well, she must have someone to practice on first.
But who?
Oh, there must be someone.
What for? To escort you.
To parties, theatres, to set tongues wagging.
He must be somebody single, unattached, and trustworthy.
Oh. Cousin Richard?
Cousin Richard.
Cousin Richard?
Bullion safely stowed?
Aye, with 2 armed watchmen standing guard. I'll be happy until we've got deep water under the keel, though.
$1 million worth of the devil's currency would tempt an anchorite off his perch.
My anchorites are still ashore wetting their whistles.
I trust you'll be ready to sail with the tide.
All right, first light.
Good. Would it inconvenience you to take another passenger?
Who?
Myself. I have urgent business commitments in London.
Now, your money's as good as the next man's, I suppose.
That's settled. To a successful and profitable voyage.
Well, let's hope so.
It'll take more than hope to get that crew aboard, sir. You've lost them. $5 wasn't enough. They've been shanghaied.
Get out of here! Hey, I know you. You're a little Jimmy, yeah. Odd name, Onedin.
I know you. Bartholomew, I want my crew back.
You changed that a little. I remember you as a green young fella. Bosun of the Barracuda. Am I right?
Got a sharp memory, old man.
Never forget her face. Or her death. And now you're in the paddy to be offered a mail for the Queen of England.
Still well informed, eh?
Still my waterfront.
Let's get down to business then, eh? How much?
I can get you a prime crew, saltwater men to the teeth. Every man jack eager and willing to sail aboard an Onedin ship.
But I want my crew back. Right then, 1 day's pay per man in advance.
It's not possible, Mr. Onedin. Your whole cruise took a notion to whaling.
You can't tell me! Yeah.
Business is business, Mr. Onedin, and the sorts we honor were first. Dire deeds are dire need. Well, I'm sure we can arrive at a satisfactory arrangement. Plenty of good men in there.
Shanghai brandy, would you?
I want none of that scum.
Shall we say $10 a head?
Due in Liverpool in 2 weeks' time. That'd be out of pocket. $5 a head.
Oh, you always did drive a hard bargain, as I remember. Will you take a little refreshment while we discuss the deal?
Found myself aboard a Yankee bloodboat, halfway round the Horn. Look, I don't want any beachcomber stiffs or drunks. What can you do for me, old man, eh?
Did you find our crew?
Go below, if you please, Caroline.
Get out.
Open, Captain. Signed on as bosun.
Right, Hogan. Gather well and drive below.
Aye, aye, Captain. On your feet, you scum! Come on! Move! Move!
Permit me to conduct you below, Mrs. Moss.
Thank you.
Drunk or sober? The ship on the way within the hour.
Right, sir. Now, Hogan, let's see how you can make them jump.
Come on, you lazy, drunken load of misbegotten scabs! Put some beef into it! Run! Run, let's see you jump to it, or you feel the hard end of a filleted pig! Come on, you scabs!
Come, sir. No heel taps.
Thank you, Captain Webster. I have quite sufficient.
Fine little girl of yours. As pretty a craft as ever I did see. Some lucky young fellow be hoisting his colours and clearing for action before she's much older.
My daughter is already bespoke. I've given the matter long and careful consideration and come to the conclusion it is high time she was married to someone of mature judgment and stable character. An opinion reinforced by her quite frivolous behaviour these last few days. That dress is quite immodest.
Aye. To be cast up on a lee shore with all that top and back. Want to get her wedded and buried. That always takes a starch out of the stage.
You have a quite disgusting turn of phrase, Captain Webster, which I tolerate only in consideration of your advanced years.
Oh, you're sanctimonious, prating, preaching crew of backsliders nowadays.
In any case, whatever I say, she will have her way and marry the man.
But you'll not waste her on that prancing fop.
Of course not. I'm talking about Mr. Onedin.
What? You wouldn't throw her away on that parsimonious son-in-law, man?
It so happens that Mr. Onedin is Leonora's choice. I shall discuss terms with him on his return.
Excuse me now, my love.
Of course it is. Killing me. That young man's eyes were a goggle. Where's this Tyro Richard? He's hiding. Come, I'll introduce you.
Miss Biddle.
Cousin Richard,
Oh, Elizabeth.
allow me to introduce you to Miss Leonora Biddulph. Leonora, Richard Onedin.
How do you do?
Pleasure. Leonora has long had a desire to make your acquaintance, Richard.
Oh.
You ask a great deal for what is rightfully mine, Captain Fogarty.
Your son's, Mr. Fraser. The patent is Albert's.
It belongs to Fraser's.
Not in law. If James Onedin returns within the month, he'll snap it up from under your very nose.
Well, I suppose I owe you some recompense for your information. But £1,000 is a great deal of money.
A drop in the ocean compared to the value of those patent rights.
As you yourself can make no possible claim, what's to stop me from simply renewing the option on my son's behalf, letting you whistle for your reward?
Sense of moral obligation. I believe you to be a hard man, Mr. Fraser, but a just one.
Acceptance of your compliment is liable to cost me dear. You must have some reason for fixing upon such a figure. There's more than common greed behind it.
It will enable me to make a new beginning. £1,000 as capital, I can make a fresh start abroad.
Oh.
Australia, I thought.
So, I am to capitalize the venture, am I? Very well, Captain Fogarty. I dare say it's worthwhile, if only to keep it out of Onedin's hands. What will you require?
Your authorization. And on the 15th of the month, I shall be outside the door of those patent office waiting for them to open.
£1,000 on delivery.
Agreed.
Penny for your thoughts.
Oh, they're worth a deal more than that.
What are?
Patent rights.
What patents?
Well, I'm not rightly sure, but they're worth a great deal of money to someone.
Oh, Robert, all you ever think of these days is money.
Do you go to many parties, Mr. Onedin? I'm
No.
sure you must be in great demand.
I'm afraid I'm not one for the social graces, really. Miss Biddulph?
No, I think you're being too modest. I'm sure you dance like a dream.
Oh, pardon me, Miss Biddulph, will you do me the honor?
Thank you. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I don't have much ear for music.
No, well, I think it would be best if we continued our conversation in the quiet.
Come away with me, Elizabeth.
No, Daniel, don't start that again.
Albert will never come back, you know that. We could go away, start a new life together.
No, I've already told you.
But I couldn't earn enough money to take care of you and William. Well, I have money now.
Oh,
Soon will I. Talk a bit later.
there's nothing to talk about.
I'm afraid you must find my company rather boring, Miss Biddulph.
Well, to be quite frank, yes, I do, Mr. Onedin.
It's always the same when I'm in the company of the fairer sex. I'm afraid I lose my wits completely.
Even with me?
The more beautiful the lady, the worse I become.
Oh, dear. Poor Richard.
Hey, you wouldn't think it, but I'm chairman of 3 companies and sit on the board of 4 others. I'm not a silent member then. No, indeed. My fellow directors think twice before they cross me.
But to have such authority in business and to be in mortal terror of the weaker sex.
Well, you see, I've had no social life.
What? None whatever?
No. My father believed in keeping my nose to the grindstone. He died when I was 19, and the responsibility of the brewery fell on my shoulders. Well, I believe I've made a tolerably good job of it. Indeed, in time, I launched several ventures of my own.
That sounds like a true Onedin. Just like James.
Cousin James? Now, there's a man after my own heart. Oh. Sharp as a needle. Man of considerable attainment.
Yes.
You know, I remember several years ago. I was only a child.
Yes, go on, tell me about it.
I must be boring you, I think.
No, you're not boring me.
What do people think? Just the 2 of us sitting together, I think. I think I'm monopolizing you.
I don't mind being monopolized.
One more hour, we shall be clear of the Chesapeake, heading for the open sea.
You make navigation seem so easy.
It is. We calculate by applying the principles of spherical trigonometry.
And it looks incredibly complicated.
That's all, Dan.
James, is she still uppermost in your mind?
No. Biddulph was right when he said the memory would fade.
You know, James, you really ought to consider marrying again.
Oh, why?
You require a son.
Is that the only reason?
Yes. I think it your only reason.
Already have a daughter.
Poor child.
She's well cared for.
Oh, passed from hand to hand like an unwanted parcel. With a father who appears out of the night like some fairy story ogre. Have you no affection for her?
Can't help it. There it is.
So the memory has not completely faded. Poor James. Yes, you really must marry again.
I have thought of it.
And readily took no for an answer.
And no doubt if I were to ask again, would receive the same reply.
Oh, so you want the reply before putting the question. What are you afraid of, James? A second rebuff? Or that I might say yes?
Do you partake of cream or lemon, Robert?
Milk.
Do you take sugar?
You know perfectly well I take sugar.
Oh, really, Robert?
Hey, best China. We expecting visitors?
If you mean, are we entertaining? No, we are not. How could we possibly ask any guest to partake of hospitality with all this? And you in your shirt sleeve.
A man has the right to spread himself in the privacy of his own home. I'm busy.
Application and diligence are the true hallmark of genius, I always say.
Patent rights. That's what they said. Patent rights. It'll be here somewhere.
What patents, dear?
Patents worth a great deal of money. Something to do with the ship. Our ship. Oh, they're sharp, those two. Very sharp.
I do think, dear heart, that your perspicacity and acumen in matters of business are far in excess of that of either Mr. Fraser or Mr. Fogarty.
If only I knew what I was looking for.
The art of conversation forms one of the greatest charms of modern society and is therefore deserving of consideration.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Sarah! Hold your tongue.
Mrs. Maudsley.
Mr. Draygon, I see you suffer from the same bump of curiosity as myself. I personally will never make sense of a chart.
Oh, well, that's quite simple, really. Our noon position was 185 miles east of Cape Charles. We're traveling due east, coast hauled on a port tack at an average speed of approximately 12 knots.
Where did you acquire all this knowledge, Mr. Draygon?
At sea, I was a master mariner before my leg was crushed in the fall. Yes, well, I must leave you to your studies, Mrs. Maudsley. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Draygon.
Onedin.
What did he want?
Mr. Draygon was explaining our present position to me.
Got no right in the chart room.
No.
Stay there. Drop it! Ah, Mr. Draygon.
Thank you, Mr. Onedin.
James!
What am I to do with you?
Knock us on the head. Chuck us over the side.
That was our intention.
Only something happened to change that situation. Draygon was your navigator.
And now he's dead. We have a problem. Now, one of you will navigate. Now, the choice is yours.
Right, I'll do your navigation for you. Only any threat, insult, or injury, I'll run the ship in circles.
I can read a chart, Onedin.
All right, then. I say that's our position. Now you prove it otherwise.
Our rendezvous is 2436 north by 7120 west. About 800 miles from there, our noon position. Now, you've got 4 days, Onedin.
You'll hang.
Ships disappear, Captain.
And the crew's with them.
They've been promised $1,000 a man.
If they live to collect it, eh?
You and I have got along fine, Onedin. Just fine. Now, keep your eye on them.
I counted 6 mutineers. The rest of the crew were as taken by surprise as we were. Must be expecting a small island schooner. Maybe off the Bahamas, eh?
Yeah, they don't want the ship. It's the gold they're after.
So they'll sink the ship and us with it.
We've got 4 days.
And what of my son?
We'll take him with us.
To Australia?
We'll go as man and wife. Who's to know?
I am to give up all this?
An accumulation of debts.
It's a grave risk.
It's a new life.
At the other side of the world?
It's a wealthy country.
Well, what will you do?
We'll raise sheep.
Sheep?
Yes. Australian wool and Australian mutton. Fortunes have been made and are waiting to be made. You'll never soil your hands, Elizabeth, that I promise you.
What if Albert should return?
He'll never return. And do you think he's been leading the life of a monk?
You must give me time to think.
No! I need you, Elizabeth.
Oh, Daniel.
I must ask you, sir, to declare... Oh, thank you. To declare your intentions towards my daughter.
Do you partake of sugar? 1 lump or 2?
Thank you, too. Well, sir?
Oh, my intentions are by no means as unworthy as your suspicions. Miss Leonora has just been kind enough to honor me with her company.
There is gossip, sir. Gossip.
Do try some seed cake. It's from a very old recipe, and I would so appreciate your opinion.
Yes, my daughter is utterly lacking in guile. She cannot be expected to comprehend the wiles and stratagems of idle-tongued rumour-mongers. And the girl is never free of your company, damn it.
I assure you that your fears are ill-founded.
Yes, and I tell you, sir, that there is gossip.
Seed cake.
Thank you. Moreover, sir, you must be aware that it is my avowed intention that she should marry your cousin, James Onedin.
Yes, well, I am also aware that that is Leonora's intention. Honestly, I don't see myself in the role of rival.
Yes, but I forbid you to continue this association.
Oh, well, now, surely that must be a decision up to your daughter.
She will obey me.
Oh, well, now, if you're going to play the tyrant...
Now, don't you cross me, young man.
Sauce for the goose, Mr. Bildoff, is also reputed to be sauce for the gander.
And what is that supposed to mean?
I believe that you're in the process of expanding one of your coal fields. You borrowed substantially. I hold your paper,
So don't you cross me.
I'm ready, Richard, dear.
Oh, Leonora. Well, thank you, Sarah, for your hospitality. Mr. Biddulph, it's been a pleasure.
Good day to you, Mr. Onedin.
Leonora.
We'll arrive at your rendezvous during the first dog watch now, if that satisfy you.
You're up to something, Onedin.
Oh, I'll keep my word, as long as you keep yours.
I don't trust you, and I don't trust this. You've crowded on sail and made fast passage. Why?
Oh, now, isn't that what you require?
Now, if we don't sight this schooner, Onedin...
You?
All right. Watch them.
Time's running out.
It's also Hogan's view.
We should make our move now.
No, that's just what they expect. Now then, will the wind hold?
Blowing steady from the west. Round a broad reach, making about 30 knots.
Taking some canvas, sail her as close to the wind as you can, under main and foresail. Now, I reckon that schooner will arrive at the rendezvous early. He'll be anxious not to miss us, you see. He'll patrol this area. I don't want to come upon him until an hour before sunset.
Why wait that long, sir? 2 have been killed out of 6. There are only 4 mutineers left to worry about. I mean, we can tackle 4.
They're armed. We're not. Oh, no. We'll let Hogan shot in the odds for us.
Come to bed, love. It's past 3 o'clock. You'll wear yourself out. Oh, I don't know why you're going to so much trouble.
Fraser and Fogarty. They're up to something. Hey, I never knew a ship carried so many patents.
And why should that concern us?
Because there's money. A great deal of money, one of them said. In Albert's absence, it's company money.
Albert?
Now, wait a minute.
Oh, come on, come to bed.
No, this rings a bell now. Hydraulic steering gear.
What is it?
Some sort of steering gadget. And here's a note in Albert's workbook. Patent applied for, granted, quintennial option of renewal on payment of £5. Due on the 15th of September.
That's next week.
I shall confront Fraser.
Readers! Up aloft! Masthead! Hoist away!
Red canvas. That'll be your recognition signal, no doubt.
A strange flag would only arouse suspicion. But who'd pay attention to an odd sail?
Very clever. Mrs. Maudsley. We shall be sighting the schooner shortly. Below.
You're sailing mighty close to the wind, Captain.
So are you, Hogan. So are you.
Grant us that we know our business, Hogan.
Going on the forecastle!
The crew.
Keep quite still, Mr. Hogan.
Come on, out you come. Quickly. And you.
Get aloft! Trim the sail!
gallants! Come on, sail on the braces there! Turn on the braces!
Steal my ship, would you? I haven't got the time to hand you over to the authorities, nor the inclination to keep you on board. Well, your friends can pick you up.
You can't set us adrift! They'll never find us in the dark!
Try hauling up a bit of red canvas. Captain Baines, Liverpool in 11 days. Must you go?
I'm afraid so. My train leaves for London within the hour.
I am sorry.
So am I. But I am grateful to you for being as unresolved in your intentions as I have been.
Unresolved?
Else you would have asked me again, and more persuasively, and I might have said yes. And how wrong that would have been. Oh, James, you know it as well as I. That's why you didn't ask me. We might have made a good partnership, you and I. But a poor marriage.
One's dependent on the other.
Yes, perhaps. But you need a loving wife, one who'll devote herself to you and bear you sons. I would chastise you at the breakfast table for ill treatment of your seamen, and leave your clothes unmended to go off campaigning with Mr. Plimsoll.
Oh, on deck with that. London, eh? Well, I'll certainly keep you busy there, eh?
Indeed, I hope so.
Ah, well,
James Onedin. To my shame, when I look at you now, the low opinion I held of you when we first met, when you just saved my life. I doubt if I shall ever meet a finer man. And there will be times in the future when I shall punish myself for having laughed away your offer of marriage. But I was right, wasn't I? Don't remain unresolved too long, James. Leonora Biddulph. Snap her up before somebody else does.
I've already made up my mind to do just that.
It's goodbye, then.
Goodbye, Caroline.
And when you do propose to Leonora Biddulph, make a better job of it than you did when you paid your addresses to me.
Hello? Elizabeth? Anyone at home? Elizabeth? What is all this?
Elizabeth's leaving.
Closing the house?
Aye. Did you bring the money?
Why the devil should I bring it here? Will you stop that damned hammering while I'm talking to you? Robert came to see me. He wants to apply for the patent rights on behalf of the company. The only way to put his nose out of joint is to obtain Elizabeth's proxy.
Proxy? What proxy? I never heard such a hullabaloo. What proxy?
Elizabeth, is this your luggage?
It is. I am leaving for Australia with Mr. Fogarty.
You adulterous little bitch!
Guard your tongue, Fraser.
If I were a younger man, I'd thrash you within an inch of your life.
If you were a younger man, you wouldn't dare.
You disgust me, madam. You'll not only betray your husband, you expect him to finance your damn paramour into the bargain. Not a penny piece, Daniel, not a penny piece.
Albert's money?
£1,000 that scoundrel demanded to start a new life in Australia with another man's wife, by God.
Albert's money?
Whose pocket did you think it would come out of? Mine? It would be an advance against my son's patent rights, that's all.
Patent? What patent?
It would seem you've not enlightened the lady, Mr. Fogarty.
What patent?
Worth a fortune in future royalty payments.
Is this true?
It's a twisted version of the truth. But we're not allowed to interfere with our plans, right?
Our plans? Your plans, you mean? You not only entice me to betray my husband, you expect me to finance your damn sheep farm into the bargain.
Nonsense. It was a straightforward business accommodation.
Straightforward, indeed. You knew all along that patent money was mine.
Albert's. And only if the option was renewed.
Sell my house. Go to Australia, raise sheep. With my money, never.
Just how far has this affair progressed?
This far and no further.
Fogarty.
You heard what Elizabeth said.
I suppose I must accept your word for what it's worth. Sign here, Elizabeth. And here.
Pen and ink. Pen and ink.
As for you, Mr. Fogarty, are you still of a mind to emigrate?
I am.
Alone?
Do I have any choice?
For heaven's sake, Elizabeth, always read before signing. I'm a man of my word. Take your Judas money and yourself to the devil. Come along, Elizabeth. We're going home.
Home?
What else? You've disposed of this establishment, haven't you? You can live with us until Albert returns. Meanwhile, this skeleton will remain firmly locked in the closet.
Goodbye, Elizabeth.
Cousin Richard.
He's taking it to the opera.
Ah, you must remember Cousin Richard.
He's in brewing.
Ah, and he's worth a pretty penny.
Oh, Robert's trying to persuade him to buy some shares in the
James,
shop.
I think we ought to tell you that Cousin Richard and Leonora have been seeing quite a bit of one another whilst you've been away.
Oh, have they? So?
Well, Leonora is a very attractive young woman.
Yes,
James.
I am aware of that.
And we expected to waste a young life waiting around for you to propose to her.
Do not. That's why I'm here to talk to her.
You don't mean
you're going to
Yes.
us?
Oh.
I am.
James!
Leonora.
I heard your ship was in.
Ah, well, Sarah, it's Charlotte's bedtime. We'd better see about her bath. We'll see you later, James.
Well, did you have a good voyage?
Oh, it was not uneventful. But it gave me time to reflect upon a certain matter.
My goodness, you are looking elegant, James.
Oh, why, thank you.
I'm sorry, you were saying reflect upon a certain matter.
Upon you and I. Now, I know I should have made up my mind. So... Oh, there we are. Promised myself I wouldn't make excuses for not having asked you before. Leonora, I want you to be my wife. Would you like me to repeat that?
No,
In case you
no,
didn't hear?
no, please, don't.
sorry, James. Forgive me. It's just that I'm overwhelmed. I didn't expect this. No.
Well, what do you say?
James, I'm very honored that you should have asked me, but I cannot accept.
Cannot? Cousin James? Young cousin Richard?
And Leonora, we mustn't keep the carriage waiting.
No, Richard, I shan't be a moment, please. You see, James, since you've been away, Richard and I have... Well, the banns are to be read on Sunday. Isn't it extraordinary? I didn't mean for it to happen like this, not at all. But Richard just swept me off my feet. Well, no, that's not quite true. You see, I began by feeling sorry for him. And then I started to respect him. And now I'm in love with him, James.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Best not keep him waiting, eh?
No.